All right, the next part of the project, we are going to be drawing the subject of our line, Zentangle, and triptych project. Now, it doesn't matter the direction, either direction works that you have your paper. Depending on the subject or the object that you're going to place in the center will determine if you have your paper in this direction or this direction, right? If you drew a flower, this might be a better option that had a stem because there's more space. If you decided to draw a giraffe, this might also be the best because there's more space for that drawing. If you were to draw a shark, a better direction would be your paper to be like this, because then you can fit the tail, the center of the body, and then the head would be up here. So kind of think about what's going to work best for you as you're starting to do this project. So I'm going to make mine very simple, as this is a demo just to get some ideas of how the project's going to work. Now remember, you cannot have your drawing going into the center part of that triptych. It has to be broken down into these shapes. So if you wanted to draw a face, that possibly might not work depending on where the eyes were. Because that's a main feature of the eyes, you don't want to lose that. So think through the process and how it's going to work. So, like I said, I'm going to keep mine pretty simple. I'm going to draw a flower. So I'm going to start out with the center part of the flower, and then we'll have some of these petals that kind of come out from that. Okay, now this, imagine that kind of goes through that space. I'm going to draw it a little bit darker so you guys can actually see it. Okay, but remember, as you're doing this project, please draw light. It's going to help you as you keep moving forward. Okay, and then I might do some other ones that kind of come up here that are a little smaller. There we go. So once I have that, now I want to start to figure out what types of lines I'm going to put into the piece. Now remember, these lines that you use, you want them to be very, very detailed, and they almost move into more so of a pattern. So some examples of that might be this paper. These are very, very detailed. There's a lot going on. A lot of time needs to be put into them. Okay. So to start out, I'm going to start with my pencil, and I'm going to start to draw in what types of lines, translating into a pattern, I might use. So I might have this zigzag line kind of continue, and then maybe I have this squiggly line in the center, and then maybe it translates back into that zigzag. Okay, and then I don't want to leave it like this. That's too much empty space. So I might come in and do some type of interesting repeating line. Okay, maybe this one has polka dots. Okay, and then I keep going. And then I add patterns in here, in each petal. You want it to be very, very detailed. Now, what can prevent you from finishing on time is focusing on doing too much with your pencil. Now, the pencil can help you to kind of get rid of some mistakes. If you're concerned that you're going to make mistakes in just using the Sharpie first, focus on using your pencil, and then you'll just outline everything in Sharpie. But you don't want to get to the second to the last day of finishing and you haven't done anything with Sharpie. So we're going to imagine that I have finished this piece. Now I'm going to start outlining what I have here in a Sharpie. Now the type of Sharpie that you need to use is an ultra fine Sharpie. Okay, so it has that really, really fine tip. Remember, it doesn't have to be a Sharpie brand. Any type of marker or pen that has that fine tip is going to work really, really well. So we'll take the Sharpie and start to outline our piece. Now you also want to use your ruler again to outline those lines that you already put for those boxes. So we'll find those and start outlining them. Now be aware of when you get to the side, you have a space there, so don't continue the line. Start to draw it, stop. So make sure you're thinking about where you're starting the line and where it needs to stop. Okay, so we have that, then we do it here and here. So now I might just take my Sharpie, go over these lines. They're in this box. Okay, and then move to these other sections. Okay, so I would continue this for the whole piece. And then the very last step is going to be erasing any extra pencil lines that are there. Okay, if my line went here, but my pencil line is there, erase that so you don't have the pencil. So, an example of a finished project. Okay, this is one that I did over the summer. We have the 3 triptych shapes, a very, very detailed drawing with lots of different types of lines and patterns. Okay, so there you go. This is our line, Zentangle, and triptych project. Now, a tip. Do the instructions or the project criteria say add color? Nope, please do not add color until the project has been graded and returned back to you. Then you can add as much color as you'd like.